Wastewater is generated by every home and business across our nation. However, not everyone who generates wastewater is served by a centralized wastewater treatment plant. These users must rely on an on-site wastewater treatment system, traditionally known as a septic system. Wastewater contains organic matter, solids, nutrients, and pathogens. The strength and concentration of these elements depends largely on the activities being conducted in a facility. In general, a home will have less contaminated waste than a business. But in some situations, we must pre-treat wastewater to place it in a contamination level the soil can handle. The process of installing an on-site wastewater treatment system has A wastewater treatment system should be worked into the landscape to take advantage of natural vegetation, topography, and soils. Topography refers to the slope of the land and its natural drainage channels. The ideal situation places the on-site system moving downslope from the residence and all water rate of the soil. This rate, along with the quantity of wastewater generated in a home, is used to determine the size of the treatment area. Another important consideration is to place the wastewater treatment system a safe distance from any water wells. Wastewater is cleansed as it moves through the soil, but if this distance is too short, the wastewater could still contain nutrients and pathogens when it reaches the well site. If the well casing and native soils have not bonded well, partially treated water can easily flow along the casing, contaminating the groundwater below. Wastewater is 99.9% water, contaminated with a small amount of organic matter, suspended and dissolved solids, nutrients, and pathogens. These contaminants must be removed from the wastewater before it leaves the soil treatment area. The goal of the on-site wastewater treatment system is to remove these contaminants, protecting public health and the environment. Pre-treatment systems remove a sufficient quantity of the contaminants so the soil can provide final treatment and reuse of the wastewater. When selecting the pre-treatment system, you must determine the treatment capability of the soils at the site, whether you wish to reuse the water to irrigate your landscape, and the type of land application system. Each land application system requires a particular quality of effluent for it to function properly, and generally, reusing wastewater requires the highest quality of water. A septic tank is an enclosed watertight container consisting of one or two compartments. It collects wastewater and provides primary treatment by allowing floatable and settleable solids to separate from the water. Settleable solids accumulate at the bottom of the tank, while floatables, such as oils and greases, rise to the top. Water should remain in the tank for at least 24 to 36 hours to provide optimal treatment. As much as 50% of these solids remain in the tank and decompose. The rest accumulates as sludge at the tank bottom and must be removed periodically. Still, the majority of the organic matter, solids, nutrients, and pathogens remain in the wastewater as it leaves the septic tank. An effluent filter is used to assist in removing additional solids from the wastewater. This keeps larger solids from clogging the soil absorption field. This filter needs to be maintained periodically by removing it from the tank outlet to wash the solids off its surface and back into the tank. An alarm system will alert the homeowner if the filter becomes plugged and the tank water level begins to rise. Most of the septic tanks are made of concrete. However, fiberglass and plastic polyethylene tanks are becoming more prevalent. These are lightweight and ideal for hard-to-reach spots. All tanks must be watertight to keep water from entering the system, because excess water entering the system can saturate the soil absorption field. The result is water flowing above the ground surface. Using a septic tank to pre-treat sewage allows secondary treatment systems to work more effectively. The effluent emerging from a septic tank is mild, consistent, flows easily, and is better treated by both aerobic and anaerobic processes.
biogas digester. This basically is the vat that holds all your organic matter and it decays into methane gas. This is the inlet in which, I know it looks disgusting, but a lot of horse manure in there and just general waste that's slowly breaking down with an anaerobic bacteria breakdown process. So this is the inlet, you put stuff in, the outlet is over there where you get your fertilizer. This is the gas tank, for lack of better words. You fill this with sandbags, and 1 liter sandbags you put in here, it makes its own pressure. As you can tell, it's not that full at the moment, but if you look at it, there is gas in there. It's just slowly building. Here in North Carolina, we've had some really cold nights, and I actually had to go out and purchase a aquarium heater just to kind of supplement it so it doesn't drop below 68 degrees, which is what they recommend Fahrenheit. So walking around the back here, we have where all the magic happens. So right there, this bag that's wrapped in plastic is a thermometer for my aquarium heater that I dropped in there. I did unplug it because it's warm enough and I really don't need it, and it's very warm in the daytime. It is under some shade. You will get a whole lot more production when this is sitting in the sun, but this is the best place I could put it so far. I also have a greenhouse I throw over this. I just removed it just for now. That definitely helps keep the temperature up, especially when it gets colder at night. The only problem I've been having is when I set this up was I had to wait quite a bit because the cold temperatures was delaying and slowing down the bacteria process. So right here you have the white pipe going in. This is the toilet outlet, and I will show you the toilet in just a little bit, but this is where it goes in. So there is a very long pipe at the top of that bend right there. You can see a little bit right there of the colored pipe. It's green, that comes with the system, and it's very long, and it goes down through there, and it basically comes out in the middle of the system. It's a very long pipe that kind of delivers your sewage and from the toilet itself. So they give you the basic pipe, but they don't give you the pipe, the sewage pipe from the system to however far you need to pipe it from the toilet. So where this bucket is the waste outlet. So this is where the fertilizer comes out. So when you're flushing your toilet, or when you throw anything in the front area where you're putting the inlet for the waste, a little bit of water comes out because bacteria forms inside the biodigester, and it doesn't need air. Air will actually kill it. And so the water just comes out to displace what you're putting in. So you'll have natural fertilizer come out of there. Some people like piping it into a sewer system, or they have their own waste line, or they just have it with a above bed kind of a garden system. I just have it in a bucket because I don't have a ton coming out at the moment. As time goes on, I will do something more permanent and long term with that. The yellow pipe you're seeing here is the gas pipe. It comes straight from the tank, and it has a turnoff there that comes with it, and it goes to my place. Walking around this side, you can kind of see a little bit more of the system. It has a little slot here so you can kind of see where the water level is. You let some gas out. This system automatically gases off if the bladder is too full. So the bladder gas comes from here, and it has a little emergency outlet just in case. So we're going to go inside and I'll show you the toilet attachment. All right, so this is the biogas toilet attachment that comes with the biodigester. If you choose to order it, it's an additional about $300, $350. I thought it was fine, it was worth it. For me, I'm probably going to be recycling more of my sewage into methane than I am actual organic scraps because of my lifestyle. But I do throw organic scraps in the biodigester when I have them. So the bidet did not come with it. I'll just say that right now. That came as an extra thing I ordered off Amazon. Something else is that water is recyclable water. And so this toilet is more of an off-grid scenario, or you can be environmentally friendly and flush with wastewater that is not sewage, i.e. gray water, shower water, sink water, washing machine water, etc. So you have a pump here, and this is what you use to pump everything out and pump everything back in. So something that was not made clear to me is how the system actually flushes. I was not aware that there was a pump that can pressurize and push it out. I mean, I assumed that was so, but it wasn't made very clear to me. However, you're still going to have bits that make it through, and so one of the cons is you're going to have to deal with a little bit of not only just a dirty kind of a look, but also you're going to see a little bit of that residue that does build up from the water. So that is one of the cons, and a little bit of the smell. But I don't know about you, but after I'm done doing my business, it smells in here anyway, so that's not a bad deal. I added the bidet because I thought it would be an excellent attachment choice to it, and I actually like it. So not only do I flush with recyclable water, but when I do my business, I don't have to use a lot of toilet paper. I'm not putting a lot of toilet paper into this system. I'm just going to put it on cleaning mode so I don't spray myself. But basically, it sprays you off. You do your business, and you get sprayed off, and you just use a little bit of toilet paper to wipe your butt off and just kind of dry it off because it's pretty much clean at that point. This aids for me in flushing the toilet because it adds water in there, and then I just pump it all out. So I'm not pulling a whole lot of recyclable water in here because of the bidet, which I don't mind doing. I have my system set up so that my gray water tank is just leaking a little bit, but it captures most of the water, and there's always a little bit of water in there, which the system can then pull from when I'm pumping everything out. So it has a couple one lever here, and it has some very helpful instructions that show what to do. So if you want to pump the water out, you put it on one, and that basically takes the water and pumps it straight out and adds nothing to it. If you actually want to add water to the bowl and flush it because it's still pulling stuff out, switch it over to 2, and then that pulls water, take a little bit there, from whatever water source you have, and as you can tell, I'm flushing right now. It doesn't really take much. It primes pretty quickly. I mean, it's pretty simple to do. Some people have a 5-gallon bucket outside. I just drilled a hole in the top of my gray water tank and sealed it, and so the pipe goes straight down in there, and I just pull straight out of the gray water tank, and it leaks just a little bit out, so that way it doesn't overflow when I'm showering and whatnot. I really like this system. I have no complaints about it. The only thing they could possibly change is maybe make it a little taller so you don't have to build a huge box below it, although I think it looks nice anyway. They can't help the smell because, I mean, you're flushing with recyclable water, and so that's something that I don't mind doing. Action happens. This is the thing I'm excited about the most. This is the end result of the entire system, and I actually have it lit, so I'm going to put a pot of water on there just to show you guys. This is the burner that comes with this system. It does produce a lot of heat. I'll turn the light off here. You can see that blue flame right there, and that is pretty much on high, and the flame is almost wrapping around the pot. So I'm going to leave it on high just to show you guys how I can boil water and whatnot, which does absorb a lot of energy, and I'm going to need to turn the AC on a little higher because of this. So this is probably the most exciting part for myself. A lot of people pay to get their waste taken away. You know, they pay to get water and sewer. I'm on a well, so I mean, it's already been paid for as far as when the well was dug, but I pretty much get to turn my waste into something usable, some energy. And unless I actually have my aquarium heater plugged in, it's free. You know, I paid $1,000 for the system. It's paying itself back, but this is something coming from, I mean, it's poo gas. That's what I affectionately have named it to my friends who think it's hilarious. But this is free energy. This is something that you're taking, and you're basically taking a resource and you're using it 3 times. You have the initial use of the water out of the tap into like the sink here, washing dishes, and then it goes down to the gray water tank. It's the first time, and then it gets pulled back up and it gets used into the toilet to flush again for the second time, and then it goes out to the biodigester and it aids in a process of making methane, which you could argue is a 3rd time, and then it is turned into methane to come in here to be cooked with.
Hundreds of thousands of farmers living in Mundra, Gujarat lack access to clean energy sources and sustainable agriculture practices. The Adani Foundation initiatives aim to engage local communities in rural India by promoting a healthy society and supporting sustainable infrastructure development. In partnership with Home Biogas, Adani Foundation implemented 125 home biogas systems which convert cow manure into clean cooking gas and organic fertilizer.
હવે જે બાયોગેસ છે એમાં તો સમજી લો ને ટાઈમ બહુ ઓછો થઈ જાય છે, બચે છે આમાં, અને બહુ સારી રીતે ફસલને પણ બહુ કામ જ આવે છે. એવી રીતે કે ઘાસ છે, બધી જુવાર છે, શેરડી છે, બધું છે, ખારેક છે.
હોમ બાયોગેસ પ્રોજેક્ટ શરૂ કરવાનો અમારો મુખ્ય હેતુ ગ્રામીણ મહિલાઓના આરોગ્યમાં સુધારો લાવવાનો છે, અને ત્યારબાદ લોકો ગાય આધારિત ખેતી કરતા થાય, ખેતીમાં કેમિકલ પેસ્ટિસાઇડ્સ અને ફર્ટિલાઇઝરનો ઉપયોગ ઘટે અને લોકોને સારી ગુણવત્તાવાળો ખોરાક મળે. તે હોમ બાયોગેસની ઇમ્પેક્ટ જે આપણે કન્સિડર કરી હતી એના કરતાં પણ ઘણી સારી.
Adani Foundation's involvement has left a permanent mark on the community. Continue rural development is key for improving lives